everybody, and welcome to another Fundamental Games game playthrough. Today, we're going to be playing a game of Legends of Novus with a brand new character, one you haven't seen before. This is Fabian. Fabian is a true wizard of Novus, and you'll notice when I do my next update that I've reclassified Davra as a sorceress, as she's, her home city is Asa. And just going to change her up a bit. So Fabian will be a wizard, whereas Davra will be a sorceress. And that way his class card will read as wizard. And one other thing about Fabian, he's the only character that's going to start outside of Vase City. He's going to start in Zondera's Cloud City, where he's an instructor, or was an instructor at a school of magic. Alright, so what do you want to learn about Fabian? Well, you've never seen his class card before, so let's take a look. As a Wizard of Novus, Fabian has a combat ability of +0, so he doesn't get any perks for combat itself. And he cannot equip a weapon or armor that provides more than one combat unless it's a wizard-specific equipment. He does gain 1 combat for every item slot that's equipped, however, because he is particularly efficient using items in different ways. And his activation ability is a dimensional door. He can place a travel token on any other unoccupied location on the map during his preparation phase. And then at the beginning of any future preparation phase, he could skip his adventure phase to move to that token. So effectively, he can move anywhere he wants to on the map. But at the sacrifice of a turn, for example. So I'll have to remember about that ability and see if that will help at all with his potential to win the game. Now we're playing a solo game again, so I'm going to introduce the turn tracker here. Just so we can keep track of where did it go. Oh, there it is. So that'll be my turn tracker. And we will start with our traditional 3 experience. Now you'll also see that this is the revised character board. So the character board now has faded icons right on the big part, as well as a non-faded icon in the original part. The other thing you'll notice is that the character card is switched down to poker size, so it'll be the same size as a class card and all the other cards in the game, and that's both for cost effectiveness and space reasons. And I've added space on here for the Explore token and for the Luck token, as well as for coins. So that way you don't have to have stuff sitting outside your character board. Your character board effectively holds everything you need to play the game. Now the Explore token is used instead of what I've been doing in the past. What I've done in the past when I've played is I've just flipped over, or in the real game tipped over my standee. And what I would do in the real game is if a player has explored, they would put an Explore token under their standee to represent that they have already explored that location and have to leave it on their next turn. Because if you're playing with 5 people, you may forget when you have or have not explored. So that's what that's for. And then the Luck token, again a new element to the game. The Luck token you can use at any time in the game when you roll a 1, which is a tragic fail. And if you roll a 1, you can sacrifice your Luck token to re-roll your die. And if you roll a 1, like I just did, a tragic fail, it's no longer considered a tragic fail. You'll still get your bonuses applied, and that might still win you a battle, or whatever else you're rolling for. Or you might roll a higher number than a 1, in which case you're going to take that number instead of the 1. So either way, the Luck token helps you avoid 1 tragic fail in a game in case you have a particularly bad run of luck. You get to choose when you want to use that. Other than that, everything else in the game is the same, other than the updated images. So here we have Eisenthrax, Asmakai, Juragon, Kronig, Monsignius, who's been around since the beginning, Osira as well, Sistos, Kismatic, and the Gregor Beast. So those are all artwork that is included in the game now. There's no substitution art for quest creatures anymore. The other thing that's been updated is location art. So location art still has a couple places left to get original art for, and that includes Nost and Silverin still require some original art, but some of these other ones that are not major role players in the game, I've updated with a different form of art, which is basically a stylized photo that looks like watercoloring. So if you take a look at this one, the ice river is a picture of a mountainous river terrain, which has been stylized with special filtering effects to make it look like it's painted. And so those look pretty cool. I mean, if you look at the Demon Gate, for example, that's a stylized cave entrance. But then there's other locations like Gore's Altar, which will get updated with original artwork, and Zandera's Cloud City has original artwork coming. So, alright, let's get into the game. We will shuffle up our deck so you know that everything is completely randomized. And I will start with one adventure card and one reward card as per the usual rules. Begin my turn. At the beginning of my turn, I can choose to equip if I'm eligible, which I am not. Nothing eligible to equip. I could play a card if I'd like to, but I'll choose not to. And as my first action, I am going to actually explore. Now, I'm not going to use the token just for sake of saving time for this playthrough, but I'm going to explore Zandera's Cloud City, and so that kind of gives this benefit, the wizard, a benefit right off the get-go, because he doesn't have a lot of perks other than his dimension door. So in Zandera's Cloud City, if you explore there, you gain 2 experience and 1 adventure card. You can only do that once per game, so players have to remember that. There's no special token to memorize that. So I gain 2 experience, 1, 2, and 1 adventure card. And like, I'm not going to use these this game. I'm just going to use a tracker board just to represent how it would really play in the game. Just like for coins, I'm going to use real token coins instead of using the coin tracker. Alright, I've got 2 encounter cards. I'm going to be able to make encounters whenever I want later on, but they're not going to serve me much purpose now. Okay, so I have explored with 5 experience. My character board says I get a bonus 1 attack, so I have a 1 attack value right now. Okay, so that will be the end of my first turn. I'm going to choose not to sell my druid armor. I'm going to keep all 3 of these cards, so that's the end of turn 1. Then we go to turn 2. So turn 2, I'm going to say I'm going to place my wizard token, my travel token, wherever I put that. Here. I'm going to use my dimensional door. I'm going to put that on Asa. Now I can't use that turn because it says at the beginning of my preparation phase, and I place my travel token during my preparation phase, so I can use that next turn. So this turn, I've already explored. I probably should have placed that last turn, but I will travel 1, 2, and roll my travel die. Travel die says we have an encounter. First encounter of the game is a wraith. So the wraith says I have to do an action die, and if my result is less than 12, I'm defeated. So my action result is 5, and I'm going to add 5, so my total is 10, which is less than 12, so I'm defeated. So unfortunately I lose 3 experience. Not good to fight a wraith this early in the game. I don't even get a chance to escape because it surprised me and placed its grasp. That's how dangerous Novus can be. So let me go to my recovery phase. Nothing I can do there, so I will end turn 2 and proceed to turn 3. So for turn 3, I'm going to skip my travel phase and go all the way to Asa, where my dimensional door is. And when I get to Asa, because I'm a wizard, you can see the first time you visit this location, if you're a wizard, you gain 2 experience and draw a reward. So even though I didn't get anything during my adventure phase, I can still gain my 2 experience and draw 1 reward card. Ooh, found some rare gems. Rare gems can be redeemed for, that should say 50 at the beginning of any phase of my turn. So at the beginning of my my recovery phase, I will grab 25, 50 GP and add it into my player board. right there. Sundare is getting rich. And that will be the end of my turn, ending it in a saw. So that's the end of turn 3. At the beginning of turn 4, I'm going to spend 25 gold and get another reward card. Now, you can see there at the beginning of the adventure phase, play any number of reward cards, play an adventure event, or purchase an adventure or reward card. So I'm purchasing this. I found myself a belt of strength. Now that says weapon or armor. This is neither weapon nor armor. This is just a piece of equipment, so I'm allowed to put this on. And I gain 2 combat, so that's good. Up to 3 combat now. Bum, bum, bum. And if I got another piece of body equipment, I could equip it. Now I can only buy 1 card per turn, so even though I have more money, I cannot spend that money this turn. So now I must choose what else I want to do. I can take this token this turn, even though I can't travel this turn. I could put this anywhere on the map. So I'm going to put this up in Serenity Lake. And then I'll proceed with my turn. On my turn, I'm going to explore. When I explore, I flip over the top card of the adventure deck. If it was an encounter, I'd have to fight it, but it's not. Instead, I got a Master of Weapons. This is a skill that may not benefit me very much, because it just says as long as I have a two-handed weapon or a weapon in each hand, I'll gain an additional combat. But you know what? The skill does give me +2 on its own. So that was the beginning of my adventure phase. The second part of my adventure phase says that I can either get another card, or I could play an encounter card and fight that encounter. So given that I'm only at 3 combat, I think it's in my best interest to try to get another card. So I will choose to draw a reward card. Alright, I found a pair of steel-plated gauntlets. Cannot be worn by a wizard, so poor Fabian cannot wear steel gauntlets and still do all this spell casting. So we go to the end of my turn. At the end of my turn, I will play this Master of Weapons and gain that extra 2 combat. 1, 2, I'm up to 5 now. And that is all I can do this turn. So I will turn the turn tracker up to 4 and proceed to my 5th turn. So my 5th turn, I can flip over and I can skip everything to travel to Serenity Lake. So I go right to my end step. Let's just read his ability. Choose to skip your adventure phase. Well, so maybe that's not as good as I was hoping, but I ended up there anyway and skipped my whole turn. Got to get used to playing with this guy. If you are in Serenity Lake at the end of your adventure phase, you gain an experience. Now, but since I skipped my adventure phase, I'm not there at the end of my adventure phase, so kind of a misplay on my part, but that's okay. So I go to my end step. Nothing else I can do, so that's the end of turn 5. At the beginning of turn 6, I can spend 25 and purchase another reward card. I found myself a wooden club. I can equip that, so that'll give me an extra combat. Nothing wrong with that. You can see here, I still get that 1 combat because it's not worth more than 1. And I haven't found an item yet, so I don't get any extra combat bonuses. So that's my preparation phase. My adventure phase, I will explore. When I explore, I will draw this. I found a remove curse card, so that will go to my hand. And for the second part of my adventure phase, I will draw another reward card. Finding a helmet. Now, a helmet can be worn by a wizard. It must be a special helmet. But you do suffer -2 to running away. Then at the end of my adventure phase, because I'm in Serenity Lake, let's have a look at Serenity Lake here. Bottom left. At the end of your adventure phase, if you're on Serenity Lake, gain 1 experience. Battles cannot take place. If I would have drawn an encounter card, I would have just had to discard it. So I'll gain 1 XP and back up to 5. And then during my recovery phase, I will equip this helmet to gain 2 combat. Now I'm starting to become a forceful wizard. Maybe I have a modified helmet, kind of like he's wearing there. Special deflection helm. Okay. During my recovery phase, nothing else I want to do, so that will be the end of turn 6. We start off turn 7. I cannot stay in Serenity Lake because I've already been here. Get that token off the map. Oh yeah. I can use my dimensional door though, so I can move this somewhere if I want to. So let's say I do want to move it. I'm going to move it all the way to Kismatic's Keep. Maybe I'll jump over there later, but I can't do it this turn. Then I will do my travel step. So I'm going to travel. What do I have in my hand? I'm going to travel to Novus, so just a 1 step. I'll tell you why in a minute, but first I must roll my travel die. Survey says a reward. So a reward I get to put into my hand. Flip that over. Got a brooch of flying. I like that one. Alright, now Nost, which is where I went to, says that that's the bottom right. At the end of my adventure phase, which is right now, if I'm in Nost, I may discard any number of adventure cards and gain 25 gold for each card discarded this way. So now I can take advantage of these extra cards I have. I can get rid of this remove curse. It could come in handy, but I'm going to sell it for 25 gold. I can get rid of 1 encounter card and sell that for 25 gold. So now I'm back up in gold there. So now I go to my recovery phase. I'm going to equip this brooch of flying, and because I'm the wizard, I will gain an extra combat. Alright, now I have an extra travel and an extra 3 escape, so it kind of balances out with my heavy helmet. And I can ignore any travel effects from travel locations, which are the flooded plains and the ice river have travel negatives. Okay, so I've got 3 cards left in my hand. I am at my end recovery phase in Nost. I don't think there's anything else I want to do while I'm here, so end of turn 7. We will begin turn 8. The beginning of turn 8, I'm going to purchase a card. I'm going to purchase another reward. Cool, I found a battle axe. Cannot be equipped by a wizard. Remember, I can sell these though. This one's worth 10 and this one's worth 15 on the bottom right of the card. Alright, so Fabian says, what does he want to do? He wants to dimensional door travel over to Kismatic's Keep. So I skip my whole turn and go to my end step. Nothing I want to do in my end step, so I'm end of turn 8. I begin turn 9 and I'm going to explore Kismatic's Keep. Now Kismatic's Keep, that's the lair of the Lich Lord, but there's a special thing here where instead of battling Kismatic, I can try to explore and roll a 10-sided die. If I roll a 1 or a 2, I must battle Kismatic. If I roll anything higher than a 2, I can get a free magic item. Survey says a 3. Alright, so that's good news. So that says that if you roll a 1 or a 2, you must battle him. If you do not, you flip cards from the reward deck over until you reveal a magic item and put it into your hand. So I will flip cards over until I reveal a magic item and put that into my hand. So I found a potion of speed, and then the other item goes back in the deck and gets shuffled. So then I go to my recovery phase and I can equip this potion of speed, and even though it doesn't give me combat unless I use it, because it's an item, my special ability says I get an extra combat. So just having that potion in hand makes Fabian just a little bit stronger. Alright, so that will be the end of that round. Flip over, start my new turn, and I can take this dimensional door and put it somewhere else. I am going to put this dimensional door where? Do I want it anywhere right now? What's Floating Falls? Let's take a look there. Floating Falls, bottom right. Yeah, I'm going to put it in Floating Falls. And then I've already explored, so I'm going to travel 1, 2 to the abandoned wastelands. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to spend my money and purchase myself an adventure card. So I purchased an encounter card. That's probably a good thing because I'm about to roll the travel die. Oh, I rolled a travel, so when you roll a travel, I either get plus 10 GP or I can travel one more location. I'm going to travel an extra spot to get to Vase City. And I did that because at the end of my turn, I want to sell this and this for a total of 25 gold. So, getting my money back. I'm going to keep the gauntlets. Oh, and because I'm in Vase City, I get an extra 5 for each of those. So I'm going to grab one more 10 piece from my treasure pile here and add that to my pile of money. Woohoo! Alright. So that got me to Vase City. Nothing else I can do this turn, so that's the end of the 10th turn. Haven't defeated or come close to even finding a quest creature yet, so but I am quite strong. I'm up to plus 10 combat, so I'm getting to a point where I might want to battle something. But we're at the beginning of turn 11, and I'm going to keep spending this hard-earned money, and I'm going to buy another reward card. I found myself a mace. I'm going to equip that mace during my preparation phase. If I'm a priest, I would get an extra +1, but I'm not, so I just get 1. But if you remember, I have a master of weapons. So as long as I have a weapon in each hand, I gain an additional combat. Fabian is not only a master wizard, he is a master of weapons too. What a guy. Alright, so now that I am in Vase City, what do I want to do? Do I want to explore or travel? I'm going to explore and reveal the top card of the adventure deck. It's not an encounter, so that goes to my hand. And during my second part of my encounter phase, or my explore phase, instead of drawing a card, I'm going to use an encounter card to trigger a battle. I must battle a Jackals. If I'm in advanced class, I would discard this because Jackals are scared of really talented opponents. I guess Fabian's not considered intimidating to them right now. So I'll proceed to battle. I'm not going to run away. So the Jackals get +2. We're going to make them the black die, and I will be the purple die. So we'll roll the black die. The Jackals have 6 + 2 is 8. I'll only lose on a 1, so I got 6 + 12 because I've been building up my power this game. So it's definitely smited the Jackals with my power. I gain 1 experience point and 25 gold. And they go to the creature discard pile. Alright, so they don't give me any reward cards, but I'll take the extra money. Nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah, I forgot I have extra travel if I want to. Anyway, so that will be the end of that turn. So that's the end of turn 11. Move on to turn 12. The beginning of turn 12, I'm actually going to move this floating falls, and I'm going to shift it over to the Crystal Caverns. I have a plot to go and fight the Krager Beast in a bit, but first I'm going to travel to the floating falls. Roll my travel die. I get an adventure card, so the top adventure card goes in my hand. Nice, precise strike, really good for single-use combat. Go to my end step. End step, when I'm at floating falls, nothing happens. That's only if I explore there, so that will be the end of turn 12. At the beginning of turn 13, I'm going to, if I want more equipment, if I want to equip Master of Classes, I can equip any item on my character regardless of class restrictions. So class restrictions are just the icon restrictions, but I still have my wizard restriction, so that one there isn't much purpose in playing. So I'm not going to explore this turn. Yeah, I am going to explore. I'm not going to buy a card this turn, but I will explore. So Floating Falls has a special ability on the bottom right. Perform the standard explore steps, but instead of drawing the top adventure card, instead look at the top 3 cards, choose one from my hand, and put the other 2 cards back in the deck. So instead of the usual, I would take 3 cards, flip them over, and pick one. So I can pick Banishment, a 10 gold piece treasure, or getting a curse. I'm going to pick Banishment. And I flip the other 2 over, put them on top of the deck, and shuffle them in, I think. Or did it say bottom of the deck? Yeah, shuffle them back in the deck. So we put those on top, give that deck a shuffle, and now I have Banishment, which is really good against demons. If you battle against Asmakai, you can actually get plus 10 combat. Liking that. Problem with battling Asmakai, though, is his first power is devastating. You need to have enough experience to get through his mind-crushing ability to be able to defeat him in combat. So, unless I had a way to dodge that, which I don't right now, I'm not going to be fighting him anytime soon. Alright, so that was me exploring the Floating Falls. That was my first card. I still get one more card, or I can trigger a battle. I'm going to trigger a battle. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight a Swarm of Rats. Swarm of Rats, their combat is equal to a D10 roll, so their combat is equal to 2. We'll battle them, so they're going to get whatever this is plus 2. So they have 6 plus 2 is 8. I have 9 plus 12 is 21, so I've defeated them. I'll gain 1 experience point and 1 reward card, so thank you, rats. Ooh, look what I found. Staff of the Maelstrom. That is a 2-handed wizard weapon. So I will go to my recovery phase. I'm going to take off these 2 items. Am I in a city? No. So maybe I don't want to do that because I don't want to use up my cards if I don't have to. Alright. We'll leave it as is right now. I want to go to a city and sell these maces, so it might make sense to go back to base city on my next turn. So at the end of my turn, start of my next turn, yeah, I guess I will travel to base city. I get a free reward card. Found myself some shin guards. Go to my recovery phase, equip the shin guards, gain 1 more combat. And then I will take off these 2. Now because I'm taking them off, I would effectively lose 1, 2, 3 combat, 2 for each of those, plus 1 from my Master of Weapons. But then I put on my staff, and I gain back that 2 plus my 1 because it's a 2-handed weapon. But the reason this is better is I gain plus 2 against dragon and monstrosity creatures, or I can destroy the staff to win any round of combat. So if I'm ever in danger of losing, I can just crack the staff in half and show them the power of the Maelstrom. That's Fabian hard at work. Okay, now that I'm in base city, I can sell both of these items for 10 each. And I'll sell these gauntlets as well for another 10, so I'm going to get a total of 30. So there's 25. Grab myself a copper piece, throw it on my stack here. And so you'll notice on the character board there is room to put a token, and they're sized out so that all 3 will fit right on your board in their own little individual stacks. Just a little graphic design memo I thought I'd share with you. Okay. Now I'm at 7 XP, I forgot to add that extra combat, so sometimes it's good to reflect on your character sheet. If we take a look at this, I have 0, and then I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because of the combat ability, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, plus 1 is 14, so that is an accurate number. I have plus 14 combat. I'm still at the start of my turn. Oh no, this is the end of my turn. I decided to travel to Base City so I could sell stuff. So anything I want to do at the end of my turn? I don't think so. So that's the end of turn 14. I'll start turn 15 by dimension dooring over to the Crystal Caverns. Actually, I'll start turn 15 by buying myself a reward card. Staff of the Ram, okay. And then I'm at the end of my turn. Nothing else I want to do, so at the end of turn 15, I am not a Legend of Novus this game, but I still have a chance to become a Champion of Novus or a Hero of Novus, or just win the game as a Nobody of Novus. So on this next turn, I'm going to battle the Krager Beast. So the Krager Beast has a special ability called Weather Conditions, and they're going to roll a d10 and they're going to reduce my combat ability by that much unless I have any escape bonuses when I roll. So I will roll my die, and I'm going to lose 8 combat against this guy. But I get to add any bonuses. I don't have to add any penalties, just bonuses. Minus escape bonuses. So 5. I will be losing minus 5 to any combat rolls this turn. That's okay, I think I can still beat this guy. This is a monstrosity, you can see on the bottom right. So I'm going to get a bonus to my attack roll as well. Now when you're battling a quest creature, it is a best of 3 combat. So round 1, Krager has 16, I have 3, plus 14 is 17, minus 5 because of his weather ability is 12, but he's monstrosity, so 13, 14. I have 14 against the Krager Beast who has 16. I am going to I bust open this potion of speed, and I will gain an extra 2 combat for the turn. So I'm actually 16 now. So I've tied the Krager Beast and won the first round of battle. Oh wait, no, I'm not going to use that, sorry. Because if I use that, I will lose a combat from the wizard ability. Really got to watch that math. Instead, I'll use a precise strike. So I gain plus 5 for the turn. So that puts me over. I win round 1. Round 2 of combat. The Krager Beast has 5 plus 9 is 14. And I have 9 plus 14. Actually, we'll take the 5 off now. So 4 plus 14 is 18, 19, 20. So I've defeated the Krager Beast. Cost me a card, but that's well worth it. When I defeat the Krager Beast, I will gain 3 experience. 1, 2, 3. But I'll also gain the Krager Shield. So the Krager Shield is a special item you can only get by defeating the Krager Beast. And unfortunately can only be used by fighter class, but that's okay. It's still worth 50 if I sell it. Alright, so we go to my end step. And I'm at 10 XP, so when you're at 10 XP, I still only plus 2, but I can become an advanced class. Now, Fabian has a perk, because not only could he become any one of these advanced classes, that have a wizard in it. So he could become a summoner, a time thief, a mage monk, or a ballistic battle mage. But his class card can flip over, and he could become a master of magic instead. So master of magic says, again, you can't equip weapon or armor unless it's wizard equipment or it's 1 or less. You gain 1 combat for each item, but also each hand item that's equipped, so that's a nice perk. And he has a spellcasting ability. He can still use his dimensional door, but he can also unsummon and enchant. So because I'm testing out Fabian live with you, I'm going to become the Master of Magic. So When I become the Master of Magic, I will gain 1 more combat because I do have a hand item equipped. And oh, I can use a 2-handed item as a single-handed item. I should have realized that before I sold that equipment. Whoops. Darn. Alright. So we're up to 15 and we're advanced class. We're at the end of the turn. I cannot use the Krager shield because I'm not a fighter class, so where am I right now? Oh yes, the Crystal Caverns. So that will be the end of turn 16. Start turn 17. I do still have a little bit of money. Is there anything I want to buy? We're going to, we'll save, no, spend the 25. We're gonna keep playing with random luck. I found myself some travel plans. So that lets me move my player up to 3 locations away during my recovery phase. So that's kind of neat. Now with me jumping around with dimension doors, that's not really necessary, but I'm going to use my dimension door and move my dimension door somewhere else. I'm going to move it to the jungles of Wakan. Alright. And then I can travel 1, 2, I'm going to travel to Donetsk, which is a city location. When I travel, I have an encounter to battle. I must battle an acidic ooze. Equipped armor doesn't apply its combat bonus this battle, so my shield does not, neither do my shin guards. Sorry, my helmet or shin guards. That's okay. I'm still going to battle him. So he's going to roll. He has a 1 + 5 is 6, so I'm not going to lose. I'm already well beyond the ability to beat this guy. 7 + 15 is 22. I really know how to battle an acidic deformity. I will gain myself 3 experience, 1, 2, 3, and 2 reward cards. Good thing I'm in a city. Alright, what did I find? I found a holy symbol, which only a priest can use. Unless I equip Master of Classes. I also found some chainmail. Now I could equip this, but I'm only going to get 1 bonus from it instead of 2, but it's still worth using. So, you know what? I'm going to equip my Master of Classes, which means I can equip any item on my character regardless of class restrictions. That's a new skill I have acquired. And that way I can put on this holy symbol. And because this is an item and I'm a Master of Magic, I will gain 1 more combat. Not to mention I gain 2 more against demon and undeads and have that other ability there. So Fabian believes in aura as much as he believes in himself, or as the goddess of magic on Novus. I'm also going to equip the chainmail armor on top of my belt of strength because I can equip another body item, but I'm only going to gain +1 combat instead of +2 because of my restriction here. But I still will get a bonus against monstrosity creatures, so it's still handy. Now that I'm in a city, I'm going to sell my Krager shield for 50 gold pieces. And I'm going to sell this Staff of the Ram for, oh, wait a second, no I'm not. I'm going to, if you see here on my belt of strength, I can use 2-handed weapons as single-handed weapons, and because I'm a Master of Classes, I can ignore this druid restriction, so now I can be a wizard with 2 staffs. How funky is that? Alright, so I'm going to gain 4 more combat. No, it's not a wizard item, so I'm only going to gain 1 extra combat for that. But I still get the other perks of it, so still nice to have that staff. Okay, now what? What can, you see this guy's just totally decked out. Fabian's had some fun this game. He may not have become a legend of Novus, but he's certainly learning the ways of Novus. Okay, So I'm in Donetsk. Right, I traveled there. I fought a creature. I'm at the end of my turn. I am not going to use my travel plans. So that's the end of turn. Actually, you know what? I'm going to spend the 50 gold at the end of my turn and activate the bottom one here. Sell rewards for GP if in a city. And if you want to know, here, 50 GP gets me 1 experience point. So we're up to 14. Okay, so on to my next turn. Dimension Door. Traveling to the jungles of Wakan. So that's my 1 spell casting ability for the turn. And that skips my adventure phase. Recovery phase, there's nothing I want to do, so that, oh sorry, that should end turn 18. I forgot to put it up last turn. So I'm starting turn 19. I will explore to fight Juragan. Now Juragan says he has an ability to swallow me. I have to roll an action die and add my XP. So I roll 9 plus 14 is 23, is higher than 15, so I do not get swallowed by the jungle worm. Fabian knows this creature's tactics and how to defeat it. So then we go to combat. The jungle worm gets plus 12. I get plus 18. Not only that, it's a monstrosity. So plus 18, I get 1 more, so plus 19, plus 21. Get plus 21 versus plus 12. So Juragan rolls 2. I roll 6, so I definitely defeated him there. Round 2 of combat. Juragan rolls a 10. Ooh. I have rolled a 1. I'm going to let myself fail round 2 of combat as a tragic fail. I'm going to save my luck token. Round 3. Juragan rolls a 6. And I roll a 1. That was a feeble roll, but it is what it is. Now I'll use my luck token to re-roll that. So I have 2 plus 21 is 23 versus Juragan's 18. So I've defeated Juragan after using my luck token. And I defeat Juragan. I gain 3 experience. 1, 2, 3. And I gain 2 reward cards. Thanks, worm. Again, in real play, you'd put these cards in your hand. Your opponent wouldn't know what you have. During my recovery phase, I will equip this Ring of Resistance, which will give me 2 combat. 1, 2, but not only that, I'll get 1 more combat because I'm a Master of Magic. We're really bedecked here. Oh, I should have 1 more combat because I have another item equipped. So I now have plus 22 combat, and I think I might have a chance to defeat one of the bigger quest creatures. Alright. Yeah, I want to keep all that other stuff. You know what? I'm going to exchange my Brooch of Flying for this Potion of Invisibility. So I'm going to keep my combat bonus, but give me more versatility in combat later on. So just like a video game, you can take anything off and put it into your hand at any time. There's no permanent restrictions there. Alright, so that was the end of turn 19. On to turn 20. Flip over. I'm going to put my Dimensional Door, which I could have done last turn, but I keep forgetting. I'm going to throw my Dimensional Door where? Who does he want to take out as his final opponent? We'll put it on 1, 2, 3. I can just travel to Asmakai. So I'm going to put it down here just in case I lose to Asmakai. I put that there. I still get my travel phase. During my travel phase, I will... Actually, no. During my setup phase, I'm going to switch back. Get my extra travel this turn. So preparation phase, I'll keep that on. Then travel phase, 1, 2, 3. And I have to roll the travel die. I rolled an adventure card. Nice. I found a guided by faith. That can be helpful. Then during my recovery phase, I will take this off and put on my potion. Okay, that's the end of turn 20. Beginning of turn 21, I will spend 25 gold, because I can, to grab an adventure card. And that's good. Rare treasure lets me redeem for money. At the beginning of my adventure phase, I will sell this for 50. Get that money back. And then I will battle Asmakai. Here we go, Asmakai. So Asmakai has his Mind Crusher ability. I have to roll an action die, and then if my result is less than 23, I have to discard everything in my hand. You must play this event before a creature's special ability activates. I'm going to play this now. So this is kind of anti-Asmakai, and even if my hand gets discarded, that way at least I can have this special ability. So it will trigger banishment. And you know what? I will also use Guided by Faith this turn. So before I explore, I'm actually going to play Guided by Faith. So I will gain 1 XP right away, and I'll have +2 combat this turn. Now I haven't adjusted my XP or my combat for XP since I was at 10, so I should actually be up 2 more. So I'm at +24 combat now. Alright Fabian, are you ready for Asmakai? Let's roll that action die and see what happens. You've used your luck token, so we rolled a 4 plus 18 is 22. So I'm just shy. I have nothing to modify that with. So unfortunately, I have to discard all the cards in my hand. So that one and that one. And then I must make an escape roll. Now, I have -2 to my escape, but then I have +3 to my escape, so I have a +1 to my escape right now. So even though I don't want to escape, I probably am going to. If you roll over a 5, normally you escape. I rolled an 8, so I ran away from Asmakai like a scared child. That's unfortunate. So Asmakai stays, I run away, my banishment and my Guided by Faith are used up. And that's goes to the recovery phase, nothing I want to do, so that's the end of turn 21. Now, that doesn't always happen that way, but unfortunately this turn. So this turn I cannot explore again, so I'm going to use my spellcasting ability to travel to the ice flows using my dimensional door. And I go to my end step, nothing else I can do, so that's the end of turn 22, and I start turn 23. At the start of turn 23, I will redeem 25 for adventure card. I found a travel card, the caravan. Now Fabian must battle, because I'm going to explore here and battle Kronig, the ice giant. Kronig has a hailstorm. I have to roll an action die, 3, and add my XP, which is 18, and I have 21, which is higher than 20, so I do not lose the first round of battle. If I had an animal ally, which I don't, it wouldn't add its combat bonus. He kind of swats them away like flies. Otherwise, he's just a plus 16 combat, and I have plus 24 combat. He is a humanoid, so I don't have any bonuses against humanoids. Oh, maybe I do. Yep, plus 2 against humanoids. So I'm actually a plus 26 to his plus 16. Good chance I'm going to beat this guy. So he rolls, I roll. So I defeated him in the first round of combat. He rolls, I roll. And I defeated him in the second round of combat. So I have defeated Kronig, the ice giant. So Fabian, the wandering wizard, has successfully defeated 3 quest creatures. When you're playing in solo mode, your experience is not a factor. It's just about how fast can you defeat 3 quest creatures. So that's great to see. I would have gained 1, 2, 3, 4 anyway. Actually, you know what? Let me just double check my rulebook, make sure I'm not misreading my own rules. So if you're ever playing the tabletop simulator, you have the whole game at your fingertips here, including the rulebook built in, and all the wonderful artwork. Oh, eyes and tracks. Just waiting for this to load. Another thing you'll note is that I changed the animal allies. It's just a full art card now, which will be included in the game, so they look quite beautiful, and just shows the combat value that they're worth. So Pegasus is worth 3, and the bear and the wolf are worth 2. Anyway, I digress. So that was page 15, page 14. Solo game. Solo game shows here, to win a solo game you must demonstrate your heroism by defeating 3 quest creatures and completing at least 1 quest adventure within a specified amount of turns. I have not found an adventure quest to complete yet, so I have to continue. Alright, so that's the end of turn 23. At the beginning of turn 24, I'm going to purchase an adventure card. Now I'm on the hunt. I found a Master of Tales. That is not something I really need right now. So at the beginning of my turn, I will place this card in the Greater Woodlands. Why the Greater Woodlands? Well, if we take a look at the Greater Woodlands, you'll see I get 2 adventure cards when I explore there. I'm definitely on the hunt for adventure cards. I've already explored this turn, so all I can do is travel. I'm going to travel to Donetsk and roll the travel die. And I'm not going to move any further, so I'll just grab 10 GP. Alright. So that's the end of turn 24. Turn 25. I will explore in Donetsk, draw the top adventure card. Advanced Studies. You can become any advanced class card of your choice, regardless of your current class. This is my second card. I'm going to draw another adventure card. I got a Curse of the Crow, so that goes right on my character, and I have a -2 XP penalty, so that's okay. During my end step, nothing I want to do there, so I will end turn 25. I am no longer eligible to become a hero or a champion of Novus, but we'll continue on. During my next turn, I will Dimension Door to the Greater Woodlands, go to my end step, start a new turn. I will explore there, and when I explore there, I draw 2 adventure cards instead of 1. That's too bad. I cannot find an adventure. There's 7 of them in the deck, so there is always a chance to to dig in and find one. But I'm not having a lot of luck this game. Sometimes luck has to do with it, and if I had remembered that I needed an adventure card to win, I might have been more focused on adventure cards versus reward cards earlier in the game. Alright, so I've explored there at the end of my turn. End of my turn. Oh wait, I drew my 2 adventure cards, but now I'm allowed to draw 1 more card as part of my regular explore step. And I will redeem this treasure for 5. I'll redeem that for 5. Whoopsie. So I'll get another 10 piece. Alright. Now what do we want to do? Well, we're at the end of turn 27. We will travel to Nost. Roll the travel die. Got an extra travel. I chose not to travel. So nothing else happens. That's the end of turn 28. And we explore again. Draw an adventure card. There's one. Hallelujah. And I'll draw a second adventure card. And I'll redeem that for 10 gold. And that's the end of turn 29. So I'm on turn 30. On turn 30, 1, 2, 3, 4. I need to get to Silverin. Aha. So I have 30 GP. I'm going to spend that 30 GP and use my caravan. It can only be played during my preparation phase, which it is now. I can then travel to any location on the map and proceed to my adventure phase. So during my adventure phase, I will play... Oh, during my adventure phase, I'll just explore there even though I don't need to. And when I explore there, I draw the top card of the adventure deck, and I'll draw 1 more. Then, during my recovery phase, I'm allowed to play an adventure card. I'm going to play this quest card. I can only play it in Silverin, which is where I went to. I must have a total of 12 XP or more, which I do, and be an advanced class, which I am. So then I complete the adventure card quest. Now I've successfully met all the criteria for a solo game during turn 30. So technically that is still a loss, but that's okay. You still got to see a game start to finish using Fabian, the Wandering Wizard. If I had defeated Asmakai when I encountered him up here, I would have been a hero of Novus. Not a legend, but a hero. So you can see him fully decked out. We'll do a little screenshot of this. Had some nice action here with Fabian, the Wandering Wizard. And hopefully you enjoyed watching and seeing what this new character has to offer. Skipping turns can be pretty devastating for time, but very beneficial for getting to where you want to go when you want to get there. And then this Master of Magic doubling down when he becomes an advanced class was kind of neat. And it really worked well having this belt of strength and two-handed weapons. I've never had that before, so I don't think I've ever had a character so decked out. So it was pretty cool to see. Alright, thanks again, and we'll talk to you soon.